What's going on, everybody? Welcome to Sportify Podcast. I am Benji Prendergast. Alongside me is Kevin Rink and Clayton Shopfer. Clayton, welcome back. We miss you. Kevin, don't leave.
I won't.
Jared was having some troubles. Doesn't have a computer necessarily right now. So we can't congratulate him on hitting the Super Bowl spot on the prediction with a random Julian Edelman Super Bowl MVP prediction. Unreal. All right. I literally take everything I said back from that last podcast because literally the entire time I was just baking him about how Julian Edelman was probably not going to win the MVP because Tom Brady, it's going to be one of his final Super Bowls. But prove me wrong. Congrats. So now the leaderboard goes, I believe, Clayton, you're in first place with 2-1. Jared's 2-2 because he got the extra Super Bowl MVP win. I think I'm 1-2, and Kevin winless. Winless, bud. Come on.
Wow.
I'm trying.
That's rough.
All right, so we're gonna first start off with some local news. Typically, we don't really do this, but in terms of locally, we're all from Illinois, Sycamore, Illinois. And we had some state competitors. We had Megan Kohlberg and Heather Carlson placing in the girls bowling state championship. Megan got 19th and Heather got 23rd. And the girls team overall got 9th place. So it'll be pretty exciting to see Megan Kohlberg next year and seeing how well she can improve off that. Maddie Hickey winning state again. She won state for the floor routine. Pretty competitive stuff. She was the reigning vault champion. However, she arguably got robbed of that. But she did place second in that, as well as a second in all around, which is very impressive, though, in terms of being a gymnast and competing against all those gymnasts in Illinois. And shout out to our very own, the beast, Trevor Barilla, coming back from the wrestlebacks.
Fifth in state, baby.
Fifth in state. What a guy. What a guy. Just absolute unit.
What a guy. What a performance.
Honestly. If there was an Oscar for best performance, Trevor would win it every single
Trevor would win it every time.
Kid you not. Hopefully, now that his wrestling season ends, he could join us on one of these things. But until that happens, Trevor's a sideline host for right now. So shout out to Trevor, Maddie, Megan, and Heather. Congratulations on your placements, and can't wait to see you guys in the future, as most of them are going to be collegiate athletes, besides Megan, who's also a junior, but she'll have a great senior year anyways. So moving on from the local news, where do we want to start off? Do we want to start off AAF, All-Star Weekend, NFL?
You tell me. You're the host. You tell me.
I mean, all right. You're putting me on the spot there. We'll start with the AAF, all right? So AAF wrote a beautifully written article on why the AAF is going to fail. I stick to my word. It's not going to change. The AAF will not succeed in terms of being a successful league and doing anything in the presence of being a part of the NFL. So
I believe it.
I mean, I read about the AAF. This whole league was just an idea from watching a 30 for 30 on the XFL. That's obviously a league that failed. I don't get it. I really don't. I don't know how this pushed forward. Maybe it was just the rumors of the XFL coming back. Maybe it was just, some conspiracy that the AAF might be, a good farm league, whatever. But we see this all the time. We had arena football, Canadian football, and now we're going to the AAF, and then eventually it's going to go to the XFL. Mm-hmm. I personally think with all these stupid farm leagues that have no fans ever, will never fill an entire stadium, that this is just pointless. This is just a waste of money. Like, this money could go, something better, like a cure for cancer, and world hunger. But no, we're putting it into the dang AAFL. You can't even say AAFL. It's just a bland name, the AAF, the Alliance of American Football. What are you guys' thoughts about this? Because as you can tell, I'm pretty passionate about this.
I mean, I agree that I don't think it's going to go anywhere. It'll probably be around for like 3 or 4 years, and then they'll disband it because I can't see it go anywhere. There's no interest. Everyone is just already too invested in the NFL.
Right.
It's so ingrained in the culture. So, I mean, some people who are hardcore football fans just want to watch football all year round, so they're going to be interested in it. But you're right. I don't think they'll ever fill the stadium. One thing you did say, though, is that you cited all these other leagues. I mean, the Canadian Football League, I would say, is pretty successful. It's been around for a long time. It's probably the second highest level league besides the NFL, I would say.
I would agree with that. I'm just saying in terms of like popularity, what people are actually watching. Like if you told me a Canadian Football League game was on ESPN3, I wouldn't care. Like I'd rather watch poker on ESPN2. That's okay. That's what I'm kind of getting at here.
Yeah, I don't think anything will ever overtake the NFL or even college football for that matter. Unless college football self-destruct.
The NCAA and the NFL, they make too much money. They have even though they're dipping this year, the ratings are just too high. Nothing will ever overtake it.
Yeah.
You can pretend, but the AAF just won't make it. Plus, the average salary for an AAF player, isn't it like $75,000 or something like that?
It's $70,000, yeah, for 3 years.
$70,000 for 3 years. So imagine playing high intensity, brutal football. Like the AAF, but instead of being paid, I don't know, whatever Antonio Brown or I guess he's a free agent, whatever Julian Edelman is being paid,
Ben
whatever
Neiman makes 800.
800, really?
Did you say it's 70,000 or is it 700,000?
It's 70,000
for over 3 years.
I'm pretty sure I heard that.
So they get 70,000. They'll get 70,000 every year, I believe. But their contracts. Okay. All their contracts were 3 years.
70,000 per year. Okay.
Right, but Ben Neiman, undrafted rookie, on a 53-man roster, he's making 800 at the minimum, 800,000 for 1 year. But that's just 1 year he'll make 800,000. Yeah.
And then starters in the AAF who are getting just equal brain damage as NFL players are only getting paid 70,000.
Yeah.
So
even more.
You're gonna see a strike
we're pulling the concussion card out.
A mass early retirement from these players. They won't have what they're going through for 70,000. So and there's nothing much you can do to do anything about that because we just went over, the AAF can't even spit on the NFL.
Right. I want to touch on this though. There's a quarterback in this league from the Birmingham Iron. He was the D2 Heisman, which that's kind of like getting a certificate. That says good job. But for this,
that's still really impressive.
I know. I'm being sarcastic, but for this guy, he didn't know how to play football. He watched football in high school and college by watching YouTube videos. Went to Texas Commerce, whatever. I don't know what it was. Anyways, decent quarterback, right? He's a D2 player. Good for him. It's a good chance for him to improve. But after his first game, the dude got 7 NFL offers. 7. He declined all of them. So that way he could finish his season and play in the AAF. Declined all of them.
Do you know what teams?
No idea. I know the Packers are very invested into the AAF. They actually partnered with the Salt Lake Stallions. That's going to be a farm league system, which can work.
If it can turn into a farm league somehow, then it'll survive, and I think it'll do good. If it's kind of like baseball, being demoted to AAA, but it's got a ways to go for right now, I think.
Of course. Plus, you're going to also have other leagues brewing up. I mean, you also got arena football. I think they're still around. I want to say they're still around.
I think so.
Also, if I was a collegiate player and I did not get drafted and I wanted an opportunity to play football, I'd probably go to the Canadian Football League. as well. That would also be a good investment in terms of where my career is going. But the XFL is going to also cause some rivalry. So immediately the AAF is in contention of players. Obviously, the top players are going to the NFL. That's confirmed. If you want to watch top talent football, it is in the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think you kind of argued against your own point there by bringing up that fact that that quarterback received 7 NFL offers, because that just proves that league can be a good farm system. If it's partnered with NFL teams and with the NFL, then it could turn into something like the NBA G League.
I did state in the article that the only reason that the AAF will stay alive is because of the NFL. However, let's say the XFL, all those wrestling, everyone in the WWE, that type of fan base ends up pushing the XFL all the way up and eventually kicking out the AAF into being like the actual minor league. Like, who knows? Maybe some teams will actually go to the XFL, It might be a whole split league, But,
yeah, I mean, and as for that, I don't remember what his name was, that quarterback. I've never heard of him, but for turning down those offers, I mean, you got to think if he's played one game and he already received 7 offers, then those offers are probably going to be there like whenever he wants, So he's probably going to abide his contract, and he gets the chance to actually play in the AAF, whereas he would definitely be a backup if he was on the Packers. So I don't necessarily think that's a bad decision.
However,
didn't Steve Young play his first few years in the USFL before going to the NFL?
I believe so.
Yeah. So, I mean, there is precedence for a league like this getting high talent players who then go on to, be Hall of Famers in the NFL.
It said something like 80% of all players under contract in the AAF have at least been to a training camp or something like that.
They've been on the team. They've been
on a roster. They could have never seen the field, but they've been on a roster before.
The quarterback was he was on the Rams team for the preseason, and then he got cut during the 53-man cut roster. Also putting out the fact that guys like Christian Hackenberg, Zach Stacy, those type of dudes are still in this league despite having multiple years in the NFL. Mm-hmm. Still doesn't seem to find any success. But the thing is, it's the difference between Luis Perez, who is coming off his Division II Heisman year, and compared to Christian Hackenberg, who was a very good quarterback at Penn State, who became a subpar quarterback and now is a struggling quarterback. There is a lot of more struggling players in this league rather than Luis Perez. You got Trent Richardson, struggling player. There's multiple players in this league that have always been struggling to find a roster spot. That's where I'm getting at. So while you got this one diamond in the diamond in the dust with Luis Perez, the rest of them, it's just subpar talent. It's kind of mediocre. And going back to what you said, he will have those 7 offers when the season ends. But if Luis Perez gets a concussion, gets torn ACL, torn meniscus, whatever, maybe even paralyzed, knowing how the sport of football is. In that terms, those 7 offers will mean absolutely nothing. And not only that, but in the AAF, every team has 4 quarterbacks. 4 quarterbacks. So if Luis Perez took that offer, he would be going to an NFL team. He got his job done. He made an NFL team. But you also got 3 other young, struggling guys that could need the boost that Luis Perez is taking the spot from. If I was Luis Perez, I would have taken the offer and I said I'm done with the AAF, because there's no fans or anything like that are going to be so invested in this league that they'll end up filling an entire stadium like a Super Bowl. It just won't be the case. And once March comes around, you're going to tell me that the United States is going to be like, oh, hey, forget March Madness. This sucks. I'm going to watch the AAF. No, it's not going to happen. Everyone's going to end up watching the March Madness. And unfortunately, it's right in the middle of their season, too. Yeah. And if they're going to have an All-Star game, I mean, so be it. None of them are going to be All-Stars in the NFL. And you know what? Play this clip 5 years and, prove me wrong. But this is where I'm getting at, and I'm saying that the AAF will not succeed, and I think it's just going to be another subpar league. It might be the best subpar league if the NFL helps it out. They need the NFL to help it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's
but
true.
The one thing I will say, I guess you could call it devil's advocate, maybe. But like the AAF, like this whole thing seems pretty early. It seems pretty new.
Right.
Like you could give it a few years and maybe it could hit its stride, or maybe it could find its place in society.
Mm-hmm.
Like it could turn itself into a quote unquote G League, not an official one. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I'm just like saying, like it's possible that it finds its footing as a league and it becomes like it finds its relevance, no matter how small, how big. There's a chance it could become like a G, like we said before, G League. Like I guess you never know. But what I'm getting at is like we have like it's early. Like give it time. There's a chance it could succeed, or there's a chance it could find or it could become what it's looking to do. You never know. But as of right now, like this point in time, as of today, I agree with Benji. I do not see this like succeeding in any real way that could like make its relevance in American sports or something like that.
I think it really would have helped if they could have gotten some more big name guys, like if they could have landed Colin Kaepernick. I think that definitely would have boosted their ratings.
Mm-hmm.
It probably will boost their ratings. I mean, the fact that Colin Kaepernick's getting talked about. However, $20 million for a contract, kind of, in my opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's no doubt in my mind Colin Kaepernick should be in the NFL. He should be an NFL quarterback right now. No question about it. If Kareem Hunt and Reuben Foster are in the NFL right now, then Colin Kaepernick deserves a place.
Is Greg Hardy still in the NFL?
Greg Hardy's in the UFC.
Yeah.
He is?
Yes, Greg Hardy is
we talked about this.
Yeah, we talked about this.
We literally on this
maybe
podcast.
I didn't remember. Maybe I didn't remember.
It was episode 1. No worries. Well,
sometimes things slip my mind. I was there for that, but sometimes things slip my mind.
If you want me to remind you, he ended up getting disqualified for an illegal knee while the dude was down.
I remember this. Yes, I remember this. He was down and he gave him an illegal knee. Yeah, I remember that. I feel like I've seen that clip too.
Yeah.
I feel like I've seen that clip. Anyway.
So, put it this way. Those guys are in the NFL and Colin Kaepernick's not. That's pretty pathetic to me. Even if Colin Kaepernick's a backup. I don't care. As an NFL fan, like, obviously, at first I was against what he did. But the more that, time goes through, I understand it more. I understand where he's coming from. He wasn't trying to protest, the national anthem, the military. He wasn't trying to do that. He was trying to stand up for something he believed in. And us, as, us being a country, that's what we do all the time. Like, you hear all this gun violence and whatnot, and especially recently in Aurora, it's just all that stuff. We end up standing up against it, and we end up protesting it. If that was Colin Kaepernick's way of protesting it, I think he should be respected for that. He should be on a team. He should be somewhere. He shouldn't be based off his action. That was a full misunderstanding, in my opinion.
You're right. Like, if teams don't want him because they don't want him for their scheme or their offense, like, I get it.
Right.
But he shouldn't be blackballed for that. But like everyone says, it's a business, and having Kaepernick on your team, you will probably lose money.
Yep. Yeah, probably because some people
it's a business, and that's just how it works.
Some people aren't going to want to look at it the way that it is, and I mean, like, I think that, like, the president likes to use him. He likes to use Colin Kaepernick as a symbol to try and divide people, because he smears him as saying that it's they're hating on the troops in the country and patriotism, and so there are too many people that just hate Colin Kaepernick. So if a team is to sign him, there's going to be a certain portion of the fan base that is just going to, they're going to protest. They're going to protest the signing, and they're not going to buy any tickets. They're not going to watch any games. They're not going to buy any jerseys. So it's going to hurt the profits of the owners. So that's why he's not on a team.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, do you think if he gets put on the AAF team, he ends up balling out, becomes MVP, wins a championship, becomes like probably the best AAF player to ever live?
If anyone would do it, it's probably Kaepernick.
Right. Here's the thing. Kaepernick will kill that league, in my opinion. Maybe there might be some competition in terms of like, I mean, you got Trent Richardson, Luis Perez. That's a 1-2 punch right there. You also got Hackenberg and Stacy. Even though they've been struggling, all their games have been pretty decently close, except for the first one. But in terms of like, players and whatnot, so like some of these like teams, I don't even know who their starting quarterback is. I don't even know who their best player is. Right?
Yeah, I only know like 4 players in the league.
I looked at their roster and I told everyone that Memphis Express was going to win the AAF championship. Well, they're 0-2 right now. They got blown out by Birmingham Iron, which had Luis Perez and Trent Richardson. And then their last game, they lost by 2 points, 20-18. Also, what the hell is going on with the scoring of that league?
That's another thing.
There's no extra points.
It's so stupid.
Like, you can go and look at the rules. Like, I can't remember any of them off the top of my head, but if you want to read the rule book, like, it is so different. It is so much more odd than the NFL. Like we just talked, and like you just said, the scores, like it's not a learning curve, but it's something you have to like be aware of, or something you have to learn to expect, or certain rules. Like any other sport, there are rules you have to learn, and they're different from football. So I bet you there will be a lot of people that will just give up instantly when they think they have to learn a new rule.
Wait, so are there field goals?
There are field goals. There's no PATs and there's no kickoffs. So you start at the 25.
If you want to onside kick it, don't you have to go from like 4th and 12 or something like that?
Yeah. Or I think so. But either way, put it this way: every punt in that league has been muffed at least 8 times in a game. I kid you not. The AAF does not know how to catch punts. Like literally, I watch a whole like highlight of just week 1, and all it is was just guys muffing up punts and then putting other teams in the scoring drives. It was ridiculous,
Okay, well, that's actually one thing that I think the AAF has a little bit better, is that extra points and field goals are stupid. Okay, and they shouldn't exist.
I totally disagree.
Literally, the whole game is just giant guys just mashing into each other, trying to advance the ball, and sometimes they throw it, sometimes they run it, and it's just all grinding, and it's like the whole game. It's the same thing every single time. And then you bring out this guy who's a soccer player just to kick the ball through 2 sticks, and that like decides the game. Like, this is the reason why when Cody Parkey or Blair Walsh misses a field goal, everyone hates on them. Everyone puts all the blame on them. It's because they don't do anything else. They have one job. Like, it's so much different from the end of the game. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like in a baseball game, it's like at the end of the game, you just have somebody come out and their objective is just to like throw the ball over the fence. Like, it's ridiculous. Like, it doesn't make any sense. It has nothing to do with the rest of the game. And like, it's not even the same as like a shootout in hockey or in soccer and penalty kicks, because
it's the same players.
At least it's the same players who play the rest of the game. And it's something that has to do with the other parts of the sport, because that's your goal.
I understand that argument, but I disagree. I feel like it's relevant because if you don't, because like your goal is to get it to the end zone.
Exactly.
If you don't get it to the end zone, like say like you get it at your 25 on a touchback, you drive it 60 yards, 70 yards down the field, and then you're in field goal range. I feel like it's relevant enough to like have those 3 points as an out if you're close enough. You know what I mean?
It's a consolation prize, basically.
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Well, my take on
I understand your take though, because I know Skip Bayless said the same thing.
In my take towards this though, put it this way: first off, you guys are Bears fans, biased. Second off,
not biased.
My kicker made it to the Pro Bowl. I just want you guys to know that. All right.
All right.
So
I just want you to know I've been making this argument for like 2 years now. So.
Right, but here's the thing. All right, you drive all the way down the field. You get it to the 20, and you're telling me it's a 4th and 1. You have a chance to win the game, and you're going to have to go for it every time?
Well, you don't have a chance to win the game if there are no field goals. Well, I mean, you do on any play. You could score a touchdown. The goal is the point of the game is to move your ball into the other team's end zone. Okay, it's like a battle of gaining ground. It's like warfare.
So
that's what it is.
You
You're
don't agree with
slowly
extra
gaining
points?
ground.
No extra points, no field goals. What about punts? What are you going to do about punts? Are they going to have to go for it every time on fourth downs?
I don't think
so. The advantage of flipping the field.
Punts.
You're fine with punts. So the punter's only job is to punt.
Mm-hmm.
And you're telling me that the kicker's only job is to kick field goals, kick off, whatever, but we're going to keep punters.
I think his argument is because kickers score points. You can't score points as a punter.
Yeah. Well, if it's a muff punt, if it's like it's been doing in the AAF, literally like yesterday, a team scored off a muff punt. They won the game off a muff punt.
I mean, I'll be clear. I would be fine with getting rid of punters too. But
so wherever you are, you just have to turn the ball.
Well, I mean, okay. Think about it. Okay. So you're talking about, Kevin was talking about, you drive the ball 60 yards down the field.
Right.
Then you got, like a 4th and 7, and then you don't think you can get the first down, so you just kick the field goal and you take the 3 points, right? And you're like, well, you should have some sort of consolation prize for getting the ball all the way down the field. Well, your consolation prize is that you give the other team terrible field position and that you move the ball, and then they can't punt. So then if you get them on a 3 and out, then you get the ball at the 20-yard line, and then you don't have to go very far to score a touchdown. So that's the consolation prize. It would create more scoring if you had no field goals, if you had no kickers and no punters. There would be more scoring than there is in a current NFL game, because when they get a 3 and out, they have punters who can kick the ball 55 yards down the field, and then so every single time a team has to go 70 to 8 yards. No.
Why don't we?
No, we're getting rid of punters.
You're getting rid of punters. So
because I just did you listen to anything I just said?
Yes, I've been listening.
Listen to anything? I just explained it to you. So when you move the ball down the field, but you can't score a touchdown, right? Okay. What's your consolation prize? Your consolation prize is bad field position for the other team. Whereas right now it would be a field goal. So then they start with the ball at like the 20-yard line. Then you stop them. If they're not allowed to punt the ball, you're getting the ball with a great field position. Whereas right now, when you stop them at like their own 25-yard line, they can punt the ball all the way to the other side of the field because these kickers are so good because they specialize and they train in only one particular thing. And then, so they flip the field entirely.
Hold on. Why
is it harder to score?
Why doesn't the league end up – okay, so first off, there's some punters in this league that end up doing kickoff and punts, all right? They don't do field goals. Why don't we just get rid of the kicker and punter, combine them in both, just make them consider a kicker? So they're punting, they're kicking field goals, they're kicking extra points, they're doing the kickoff, and they're putting into advantages and whatnot into their own play. That's what I'm getting at. There's an actual purpose for this, all right? Me, I'm a special teams guy, That's the thing, all right? I support the special teams. I like it. It definitely changes the game. If you really want me to get into examples,
it does change the game. I don't disagree with that at all. I think it's exciting when someone returns a punt or a kickoff for a touchdown. That's really exciting.
Whoops.
But
we're good.
That happens so rarely. Like, that rarely ever happens. Like, I don't think it happens enough to where it's even worth keeping in the game. I really think there would be benefits if you just got rid of kicking entirely. And the NFL is already trying to get rid of kickoffs. Like, they keep moving the ball up from where you kick it so that there's more and more touchbacks. They changed the rule now, so if it just hits the ground in the end zone, it's a touchback. Yeah. It's because the kickoff, specifically, along with punts, are the most dangerous plays in the game. That's what causes the most injuries. So they're trying to like weed those out and get rid of them. But I guess fans like you like them because sometimes, people return kicks, but that doesn't happen very often.
Coming from a Bears fan who has Devin Hester in their franchise name, I can't believe you said that. The thing is, it's obviously a dangerous. It's obviously a hazard, but I'm putting it into perspective as in terms of making strategy. Special teams matters. I want everyone to know this. That special teams.
Yeah,
The Bears would be probably making it to the NFC Championship if special teams didn't matter. It definitely matters. All right. If they
think about what set up that double doink. Tariq Cohen took it up.
Yeah, it was a trick. It was a return. Yeah.
Right. It's such an advantage for a team. It's an advantage and a disadvantage, If you have a bad, special teams core, then the other team's going to end up running over you no matter what. They're going to get much more yardage going.
When Bears lost because of their special teams in the playoffs, they lost when they played the Patriots because they gave up 2 special teams touchdowns to the Patriots. They lost to the Dolphins because their special teams missed a field goal at the end of the game. Like, their special teams is what was killing them. And you're right that it makes a big difference in the game. Like, if you have a kickoff return for a touchdown, if you have a blocked punt, even if you just have a really good punt, it makes a huge difference. My point is that if you were creating a game from scratch, like, logically, it makes no sense to have kicking as a part of this game because it's so much different from the other 95% of it. It doesn't make sense to have it in the game. So I get what you're saying. It affects the game because it's part of it. It certainly does. I'm not arguing against that. I'm just saying that logically, I don't see how it makes any sense to even have these things in the game.
Well, here's where the game comes into play. All right, the game is based off rugby. All right, the English sport.
Yes.
So
I know what rugby is.
I'm glad you do. Shout out to rugby. We're gonna cover rugby eventually. I don't know when. Okay. We'll do it though. Anyways,
All right, Chief.
We'll figure it out. All right, me being a part of rugby as well. In that game, you can kick the ball at any time. Like fat guys like me can literally kick the ball for faster guys to go run up and get it. Right? You literally kick the ball when it ends up going out of bounds. You kick it out of, and then you're allowed to kick it out of bounds, as well as an additional 2 points when you end up scoring a touch. All right. And just so you know, touch is basically a touchdown. So you get an extra 2 points if you kick it through the uprights. All right. So from that perspective, you're basing a game off football. Like you're basing football off rugby.
Yeah.
That's what I'm getting at. So everything that rugby has gone through, and I'm just going to let you know that rugby in terms of kicking is a hell of a lot more safer than not having it happen. Because literally in rugby, when you kick it, there's only going to be 2 guys pretty much going after the ball. While the whole team is, going to be trailing and going after the ball, there's going to be ended up 2 guys in us that are going to be ended up going after the actual ball. Not only that, but in terms of the extra points and whatnot they do, there's no rushing. Literally, it's just the person just kicks it from a distance. And if they make it, they make it. If they don't, they don't. So coming from that point of perspective, in terms of basing a sport based off rugby, I don't think football I'm not going to lie to you. The special teams does need some rule improvement, Obviously, there's too many injuries. There's too much hazardous and whatnot.
I don't think it's the rules that are changing. I think it's just special teams in general is changing. I feel like
it's definitely
we're realizing it's pretty deadly and it's pretty dangerous. Like, have you seen the clip of Joshua Cribbs returning a kick? He literally got pummeled. He was out cold for a minute or so. Like, I guess it could be a rule change, but like we're realizing that special teams isn't as necessary as it was in the past. Because think of who your special teamers are. Tariq Cohen. He's a running back. Your DBs will play.
Antonio Brown's a punt returner.
Desmond King.
Yeah. And then your front line of defense is usually like second string linebackers, or even could be starters sometimes. So like the whole idea of like a special teamer, it's just the player. Like it's not something new. So like we're realizing that, I feel like we're realizing special teams isn't what it used to be, and we're not really relying on it as much as we used to.
I don't know about that.
I don't know. That's how I feel. That's how I feel.
I think we're too heated into this. This wasn't even planned.
No.
We just pulled this through. So strong opinions about the special teams, strong opinions about Colin Kaepernick, strong opinions about the AAF. Yeah, I mean, we could tie this into the NFL free agency. Might as well. Kareem Hunt signed a $10 million contract 1 year for the Cleveland Browns. Opinions.
I don't know. Like, good for the Browns, I guess. Hope he does well. Who are their two running backs? Don't they have Nick Chubb and
Duke
Nick
Johnson?
Chubb and
Duke
Duke
Johnson.
Johnson.
Now, Nick Chubb, franchise running back. I'm just going to put it out there. Obviously, not going to be, he's not going to be put into a perspective where he's going to end up being, the star. But the fact is,
He should be.
Well,
they didn't even need Kareem Hunt, but
I mean, but now they got Jarvis Landry. They got a good young core coming into this.
Yeah.
Their O line's pretty good.
Prediction right now: Browns are making the playoffs next year. The Browns will be in the playoffs.
Especially with the Steelers getting rid of Antonio Brown and Le'Veon Bell.
But if Juju steps up and becomes the next AB, then maybe the Steelers can still be relevant.
Yeah, maybe. The only competition I see in that division, I think AFC North. It's
the Ravens.
The
Ravens, yeah.
It's the only one. And if Le'Veon goes to the Ravens, then so be it. But I mean, the Browns seem like they got in the bag. It makes actually they pretty much got most of their wins, if not like most of their crucial wins against their entire division. It wasn't obviously they played a few subpar teams as well, getting on more wins. But in terms of their division, I feel like the Browns are actually going to kill. In terms of Kareem Hunt, he's going to be suspended, so they're still going to have a use for Nick Chubb. But once Nick Chubb's out of suspension, or not Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Once Kareem Hunt's out of suspension, that's going to go back into being just Kareem Hunt ended up being the star supposedly. But
how long is he suspended for? Because I know he was on like the
they haven't released
exemption list.
They haven't released it. They're still evaluating. He's probably going to be suspended 6 games, probably something like that. Reuben Foster got suspended too, right?
I'm not sure.
I would assume so. He always seems to be in trouble.
Yeah, well, I believe he got suspended. Do you guys think
who picked Reuben Foster up?
The Redskins.
Redskins, okay.
Yeah.
What do you say?
Do you think that Kareem Hunt deserves a second chance?
Yes.
Including Reuben Foster. You can include
Reuben Foster. I don't know the extent of what Reuben Foster's done. All I know is that he's a bad guy. But I feel like Kareem Hunt does deserve a second chance, and I know that is a little bit of hot water, but there was that report that, she was antagonizing him. She was calling him racist names. She was putting her hands on him first. And you get fed up after a while. I mean, like I said, it could be hot water, but that's how I think. That's how I feel about it.
As a professional, though, you deal with that stuff all the time. You deal with people hating on you all the time, in my opinion.
Yeah, well, people hating on, like fans hating on you is different than
right.
I'm going no one condoning anything. I'm just saying that you can't compare those two things, like an intimate relationship to fans. But what I don't get is I don't get why this is even the NFL's issue. Mm-hmm. Like this is a legal issue. If he assaulted someone, then the police should do an investigation and he should be in jail. Same with Reuben Foster, same with Greg Hardy, same with Ray Rice. Like if there are videos and there are reports of these people abusing women, then the police should investigate it, and if they're guilty, they should be in jail.
The thing is, the victim has to press charges. That's the issue, and they're not.
The victim doesn't want to press charges.
Yeah,
that's still a law.
Ray Rice's wife.
I thought they changed that because before the women would have to press charges, but they're intimidated by their abusers, so they're afraid to go do that, and then so therefore it just encourages more abuse, and it doesn't allow those women a chance to escape from that issue. I thought it was my understanding that if the authorities are witnesses or have evidence of abuse, that they are allowed to press charges for the woman.
I have no idea.
It's possible, but I thought Benji was right. I thought that he had to press charges.
That's definitely been the issue. That's why like everyone assumes that like they should be in jail, but that's the only reason why they're not. Is because it's typically their wives or the girlfriends, whatever. They're not going to press charges. Also, like the amount of like money and whatnot like these guys make, it pretty much sets them up for life.
Yeah.
That's kind of the issue. It's kind of like suing a celebrity. It's just they're always going to have that income. They're always going to have that money. They're always going to have they could retire happy within 2 years if they really wanted to. So, in terms of NFL free agency and whatnot, Kareem Hunt, do I think he deserves a second chance? Honestly, I don't really know. He's apologized multiple times, and he seems pretty sorry about it. But in terms of what he's sorry for, I'm not sure if he's sorry for the actions he's done. I feel like it's more he's sorry that he ended up getting released from the Chiefs because of it. Yeah. That's just kind of how professional sports are.
Yeah.
It's not actually, an actual feeling. It's more so like they messed up and now they're gone off a job, but they need one back. So they're more sorry about the job. So I don't think this will ever happen again. But in terms of, what the NFL and how everything is going, this kind of goes back to people not giving Ray Rice a chance. People not giving Greg Hardy Greg Hardy did get another chance, but yeah. Ray Rice, when he did it, it was such absolute outrage. In my opinion, Ray Rice, obviously he was under the influence. He didn't even know where he was at the time. It was brutal to watch. You're telling me that Kareem Hunt, even though he didn't do it to the extent of what Ray Rice did, he obviously he did the same action. If he were to get charged, he would still get the same charge. You're telling me that Kareem Hunt and Reuben Foster also has a history of doing this. He's been doing this since his days in Bama. Those guys deserve a chance. But back then, and 4 years ago, Ray Rice did not deserve a chance. Seems pretty hypocritical to me.
That's true. That's how a lot of people do think of it. But like Ray Rice, that whole thing, that seems like we've pretty much crossed that bridge. Like Ray Rice is kind of falling out of that news now, and it's sort of Kareem Hunt's turn. And I feel like you're right. Like it's the same charge. It's not the same extent. Like Kareem Hunt clearly didn't do it as bad, but
yeah.
I feel like now is the point in time where maybe like we're thinking about it a little bit more. Like maybe like what Kareem Hunt did wasn't as bad, and maybe we are open for a second chance. I don't know what to tell you. That's just my idea. Like I'm not saying like that's just what I was just talking out loud, I guess.
I think this is a symptom of what's been happening more broadly in the culture. Is like everyone is just losing any sense of nuance. Like no one can decipher that there's a difference, even though they're both bad, between what Kareem Hunt did and what Ray Rice did. Like Kareem Hunt, if you watch the video, he was in a hotel room with a bunch of people, and they were out in the halls, and he was obviously like very angry about something. And so in no way it's okay to commit violence, but he was in an altercation with a lot of people, and then he just ended up like he kicked the girl. I think that's obviously bad, but it's not the same as someone who waited until they were in an elevator alone and then literally punched his fiance so hard that he knocked her out and then just dragged her across the floor. Like, obviously, they're both bad and you shouldn't do them, but there is a huge difference there. One is like calculated and just straight out brutal, and the other one was just, it was an act of passion in a bad way, and like, so he should be punished, but definitely not to the same lengths as someone like Ray Rice. And we don't know if this is a repetitive activity for Kareem Hunt, or if it was just one thing where I'm willing to bet Kareem Hunt was maybe under the influence of something as well when this happened. And so it's terrible for the women and it's bad, but you can't just say that all things are the same.
Right.
All assaults are the same. You can't say that, like, okay.
I get what you're saying.
I don't need to get into anything else. I was gonna veer off topic more, but that's fine.
All right. Yeah.
I think I made my point.
This just took a huge dark turn. We're done talking about football for the rest of the day. We just spent 45 minutes talking about that. I don't know. That was dark. All right. All-Star Weekend. Let's just do it. All right. All-Star Weekend. Celebrity.
Shout out to Joe Harris winning the 3-point contest.
Oh my dude.
Joe Harris.
Underdog. This All-Star game was the ultimate underdog. Okay. First off, Ray Allen comes back, nails a bunch of 4-pointers.
Okay.
Here's the thing. I believe his team still lost. This team.
They did. I believe. Yes.
So
I was watching the highlights. He kept draining threes, and they were just down by like 20.
They kept being down. I don't even know who was going against him. I really don't. Literally,
who won? Do you know who won All-Star or Celebrity All-Star Game MVP? I don't know.
That's what I was.
Was it Quavo?
No, Quavo was on Ray Allen's team. It was Quavo, Ray Allen, Ronnie 2K. Literally, the away team. Everyone was relevant.
I feel like I read it. I read it before. Who won it? I can't remember.
Only guy that I recognized on that world team was Jay Smooth. And there was another pro I didn't even recognize. Like, I knew who he was, but like I couldn't recognize it like right off the bat. But like this team was full of irrelevant people. And they still beat Ray Allen and Quavo.
Mm-hmm.
I'm getting it. Famous Los.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
I heard that name. I don't know who it is.
Me neither. Never heard of her. I don't know. I don't even know. I knew Ray Allen's team did have a midget on their team. That was pretty cool to see. I mean, dude, like the Celebrity All-Star Game might be one of the best things about the NBA All-Star because Quavo went off last year, right?
Okay, I think it's kind of ridiculous, though.
You think so?
No. I like the Celebrity All-Star Game.
Oh, okay. I was like,
I think it's kind of ridiculous that it has celebrities and then it also has former NBA players. Like,
I also agree with.
Because, like, obviously, the former NBA players are going to be way better. What I think they should do,
like you said,
and I think
Ray Allen was a walking bucket yesterday. Like he kept hitting fours.
He didn't even retire until like 2 years ago, like officially. And so
and wasn't he like out in the air because like he wasn't signed or something?
He wasn't signed, but he was like there was rumors that he was going to sign with the Warriors for like a veterans minimum. Like, okay, so like he was been out of the league for like 3 or 4 years, and now he's just going to play against the midget and Quavo. Like,
no, the midget and the Quavo's on his team. He's playing against famous Los.
It's ridiculous.
Well, there's like equal status on the other team, so he's playing against non-professional celebrities on the other team.
No, but here's what they should definitely do, and tell me you wouldn't watch this.
Oh no!
Have a celebrity game with only celebrities, and then have like a Legends game with like all former players, and then any of like the former All-Stars who are retired can come and play in the game if they want to. That would definitely be better. I would be good. I mean, I'm not saying what they have right now is bad. It's entertaining, but I think that would be cool, and a lot of people would love to watch that.
That'd be pretty cool.
That would be pretty cool, yeah.
Could you imagine like Shaq and Charles Barkley going 1v1?
A 1v1 blacktop? Dude,
that would be
be
awesome.
Shaq would participate. Shaq does like everything.
Shaq would definitely do it. Chuck would.
Charles wouldn't. No, Charles wouldn't. Are you kidding me? He's not even 2K. He refuses.
He would maybe do it. Maybe.
I don't think so.
No, the reason he doesn't do 2K. The reason he doesn't do 2K was because he wants more money than what they're going to give him.
What the?
So he wants money, and then 2K's like, no, we're not going to pay you. So then he just doesn't do it. That's why he's not in it.
Ridiculous.
That's the same for Belichick and Madden, because Belichick is not in Madden. It's when it pans over to the coach, it's someone else.
we're back to football. Belichick is not in the NFL Coaching Association.
Yeah,
that's the reason why.
Because they get approval from the NFL Coaching Association, and he like refuses to join that for some reason.
So if Madden really wanted to put him in, they would have to like single-handedly pay him just whatever.
They probably don't care to do that. So.
Yeah.
No, not at all.
Yeah, because none of the players really care. The coaches don't matter.
Honestly, like
Madden.
The only thing that they matter for is my ultimate team.
Yeah. But I mean, like, because when you're playing Madden, you are the coach, so it doesn't matter who the coach is. Yeah. About the 4-point line. Do you think it's interesting that they tested it out, and like, what do you think about that? Possibly,
I think it's fine. Like you're gonna put Ray Allen up against the midget. Like, obviously, the game is not. It's not a real game. So if they want to add a 4-point line for one game, then like. Go for it. Like,
what do you think about?
It's something different. It's something fun.
They're obviously testing it out to see how fans feel about it. Consider adding it into like the NBA. What do you think about that, Kevin?
Now that I think about it, like I feel like it might be too close to the 3-point line. They should probably move it back maybe a little bit.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or like instead of the arc, like make like a target, like where like by the logo, where Steph always pulls up from.
Yeah, I don't know if you've ever watched
put it back there.
I don't know if you've ever watched Globetrotters games or the Big Three.
No.
It's like Ice Cube's big.
It's
3-on-3 for older players.
I know Big Threes. I just never seen
it's a little so on each side. So the 3-point line like goes like this, right? On each side, there's like these circles, and if you hit it from it's a 4-point shot.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of.
I think I like the 4-point line better. I think that makes more sense than just
the Big Three.
I don't know. I just think it might be too close to the 3-point line.
Speaking of like farm leagues from like forever ago,
is
the Big Three still existing?
I don't know. I have
because like Allen Iverson was like all pissed off about it, and like I couldn't tell you who won the first championship.
I don't know either. It's in the summer when the NBA is not on,
right?
So and they might be having a second season. I'm really not sure yet. That's why. I mean, and that was kind of like what the Legends game would be, but it's different for like people would definitely be more willing to play in one game than like to commit to a whole season, like the Big Three. Mm-hmm. And so, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if they're having another season. I don't hate the idea of a 4-point line. I think it would just make the Warriors even better than they already are. And they should have a Legends game. That's my thought. Those are my thoughts.
We need Brian Scalabrine to leave the Big
and
go play
White Mamba.
White Mamba versus the Black Mamba.
Yes, you could get
White
that.
Mamba,
NBA Legends game. Brian Scalabrine versus Kobe.
It's happening. Guys. Yeah. I think we just broke the system.
You have to be officially retired for at least one full season. Then you
have to be somewhat relevant. If you're a meme, you're perfect. All right. When Jeremy Lin retires, he will be.
Linsanity. Yeah. Oh my God.
Linsanity versus Vinsanity. All right.
He's on the Raptors now, isn't he?
Yeah, he is. He's the new Vinsanity.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So, wow, we just absolutely destroyed the All-Star game. Just friendly reminder, just keeping this going. The midget and Ray Allen were on the same team. All right,
got it.
No, I know. Yeah, I get it.
If we keep going with reference out here,
they could have been on different teams, So like, God forbid that they were on different teams, and Ray Allen like puts a yam shot all over a midget.
Ray Allen just dunks on a midget.
Oh, dude. No, you know what? If Vern Troyer was still alive, he would have to be in this game.
Who?
Vern Troyer, Mini-Me from Austin Powers.
Oh, yes.
You'd have to be in this.
Peter Dinklage.
Yeah,
yeah, Peter Dinklage would be a good one.
Dude, Wee Man? Are you kidding me? We got a whole lineup here.
They already have Kevin Hart. He's pretty small.
Yeah, you could put Kevin Hart in there too.
I don't know if
Kevin Hart's won like 5
MVPs,
All-Star Game MVPs or something like that.
But then he made some gay jokes, so no.
Yeah, so now he's not allowed anymore.
Yeah, you can't say anything anymore, dude.
That's neither here nor there.
So, all right, so we just spent like 10 minutes covering the celebrity game.
Yep.
And totally changing the format and everything. So that's pretty cool. So going from the celebrity game, our proposed idea of the Legends game, now going into the Rising Stars. Rising Stars, it was like a really super high scoring game. It was like 160
Yeah,
something.
a lot of defense being played. Like those games to me are just so dumb. Like
I,
I know Kyle Kuzma's good.
it
Why do you
was
have to show
very
me?
entertaining. Kuzma went off like only in the first quarter. Like if you go on I forgot to plug our Instagram page. We have an Instagram page now. Kevin, I don't think you're following it, which kind of breaks my heart. But
Probably not, but I'll get to it. All
right. Good. So we have an Instagram page. It's called Sportify Blog, brand new. We got 180 some followers in a span of 7 days. Pretty good number there. We also have like 640 viewers within the past 7 days. And it hasn't even been a full week since I've made the account. So we're averaging almost 100 people per post.
That's pretty sweet.
Day, which is nice. So yeah, check us out on that. Anyways, Kyle Kuzma was going off in the first quarter, and I only posted his first quarter highlights, and he was going.
But like, I don't get why they do those games. Like the All-Star Game is fine, but like,
well, because
these rising stars, like I said, I know how good they are.
It's a chance to see like the rookie class going against the sophomore class. That's kind of how it was. Like that back then, they did rookies versus sophomores, and then the varsity would be considered the actual All-Star game. That's kind of how old school terminology in this case.
Like, okay,
but
I guess
in terms of making it USA versus world, now they're more going so the rookies that are like the top rookies and sophomores in the United States and the top rookies and sophomores from the international perspective. It's getting more of an international audience as well as an United States audience too.
Yeah.
Because, like, who wouldn't want to see Lonzo Ball in an All-Star game? Dude, LeVar Ball, put him in the celebrity game. Waiting for this to happen.
So he can airball
Michael Jordan, game of horse.
Oh my God.
Winner gets a Big Mac.
What?
we just broke the system, guys.
That would be legendary.
We keep
like
going
now that you say that, like I guess I understand those Rising Stars games.
Right.
But like why? But it's just boring to watch. Like, did you see like the defense they played? Like they just let them themselves every other possession. Like I just think that's dumb. I just think it's dumb.
It's dumb. I think it's entertaining. Like,
I agree to disagree, Benji.
I mean, I don't know. I personally,
I just don't. I don't.
I love All-Star Weekend. That's just my take of it. Like they don't necessarily have like the big events are obviously on the Saturday days. I'm not counting skills contests in this, but obviously the 3-pointer and the dunk championship. That's obviously the big time. If you really think about it, there's like certain champions that come out of this. You got like Michael Jordan, Dominique Wilkins, being like the dunk gods, Julius Erving. But then you also got Jeremy Evans and this year's winner, Hamidou Diallo, a second round rookie pick, right? So like it kind of like varies. It gives people more opportunity. This is why I like it, because in terms of rising stars, there's like a lot of guys on there that I don't even know if they'll be relevant in the next 7 to 10 years.
Paul George is going to win Defensive Player of the Year, MVP. Russell Westbrook's going to keep getting triple doubles, and then they had this guy win the dunk contest. I think OKC is going to win the championship this year.
Oh my God!
I'm calling it right now.
Absolutely not.
No, shut. I don't even know if OKC's in the top 5.
No, you're just sleeping on them. That's all.
They're third in the West.
They're third, really.
Yep.
So
there you go.
Get rid of Melo. All of a sudden, you're a contender. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is
that's happened to the Rockets too, right?
Yeah, they were garbage.
They were garbage, and then Melo left, and then Harden started going off.
Yeah. And now the Bulls had him, got rid of him.
The Bulls had him and been trashed.
Now we're out of the first pick.
So yeah, we sort of broke the cycle there.
Well, I mean,
Sad case.
Melo might be benefiting all of us. The Thunder end up making it to a good spot in the playoffs. The Rockets go off. And hopefully the Bulls get the first pick.
The Nuggets are really good now.
The Nuggets. Okay, Jokic. Anyways, all right. Let's get back to the All-Star weekend. So skills competition.
Jason Tatum.
Best thing to happen in the All-Star weekend. Jason Tatum versus Trae Young.
Just puts one up and beats him.
Buzzer beater, basically. Clutches up. So Jason Tatum totally behind throughout this entire event and ends up clutching it up, nailing a half-court shot, 40-foot shot to beat Trae Young's three-pointer to win the skills competition. He just lobbed it up, drained it, or he backed.
Now in the playoffs, when Jason Tatum's going to have to put up a half-court shot, he's going to miss it because he used all of his luck right here.
You would trust Jason Tatum over Kyrie Irving on a half-court shot?
I'm just saying, if the ball is in Jason Tatum's hands and there's no time to kick it or find someone, he just burned all of his luck.
It was so sick, though. So sick.
Yeah, it was pretty sick.
So that was really cool. Shout out to Trae Young for making it to the finals, by the way. I did not see that coming. I thought De'Aaron Fox because Fox is just
Fox is a beast, yeah.
Insanely speedy guy. Let's see. So that was a skills competition. 3-point competition. Another underdog coming into the play. Joe Harris. What a tank.
I'm debating getting a jersey.
Brooklyn's going places, all right?
They got D'Lo. He's going off this year.
D'Lo,
Dinwiddie is low-key a
Joe
beast.
Harris.
Like, he's underappreciated.
Rising stars player. Allen. What's his first name?
Jared Allen.
Jared Allen's a really good shot blocker.
Dude,
he's blocked AD.
He's got the afro
AD
too.
Twice.
The Nets are the team, bro.
Braun.
The Nets are the team.
Did you see that thing? I saw something right after he won. Like, Joe Harris he was like demoted to the G League like 17 different times or something like that. Throughout like his first 2 seasons, like his points per game was like 2.6 or something like that. Now I don't know, so don't quote me, but it was said he was like 3rd in the NBA and like field goal percentage made this year or something like that.
It
was single.
I believe it.
I know that.
Second. I knew it was single digit.
So, but shout out to Joe Harris for winning that.
Joe Harris
scored 25 in the first round. Almost got cut. It was between him, Buddy Hield, another GOAT, and Steph Curry, who put up 27 in the first round. And then he was pretty consistent throughout the entire event. And then he ended up scoring 26 to win it. So that was actually really cool to see. Underdog. Also, I'm making this a rule. We're not allowed to tie the G League to the AAF for right now. All right? Because we've talked too much about this.
All right.
So with the G League, they had, I believe, 4 guys competing in the NBA All-Star Weekend that were former G League alumni. That's impressive. Also, the G League's going to end up evolving because literally Chris Middleton is the first first G League player in history to make it to the All-Star game.
Wow.
It's
who?
Really?
Chris Middleton.
That's impressive.
The Bucks.
Really? Oh, the Bucks. Okay. Yeah.
Now, do I think Rudy Gobert deserves a spot over Middleton?
Yes.
Absolutely. But
it's not how they select the All-Stars though. They select this is like 15 from the West and 15 from the East. So
right. Yeah. I know. But put it this way, Rudy Gobert gets traded to the
Rudy Gobert did get snubbed.
No, Luka Doncic got snubbed.
Him too. Definitely.
Okay, how do you guys feel about the legacy additions? Dwayne Wade and Dirk Nowitzki.
I love it. I
like it.
Here's the thing.
One last ride.
What about Vince Carter? Did we just brush him under the rug and hope no one thought about this?
Yeah, for real.
Why isn't Vince Carter he's an all-star legend? He's remembered for his 2001 dunk contest. Are you telling me that Vince Carter now has to play a whole nother season just so he can make this All-Star game? Or is he going to have to, wait till Jeremy Lin retires and have Lin Sanity versus Vince Sanity? Is this what we're going to have to come to now?
Yeah, that is kind of bogus because, I can see why Dwayne Wade was added because it's his last season. He's already said it. But Dirk has not said anything about retiring. If anything, Dirk has said he's going to come back next season.
Yeah, he said
that
he's made his decision.
that is kind of bogus to not have Vince Carter.
And Vince Carter's openly come out that he's going to retire after the season. So
he is.
I believe so. Yeah, I remember seeing like a post about it a long time.
I didn't hear anything about that.
I did not hear that.
So, anyways,
I personally think it's dumb. I'm not a fan. Like, I'm not mad about it really, but I don't like. They don't deserve it. It's like a legacy lifetime achievement thing. Like, if they really had that much. Enough of a legacy, then the fans would have voted him in. None of them were anywhere near getting in for the fan vote. And Dirk,
he's undecided.
Dirk Nowitzki, like, let's be real, he should not be in the NBA anymore. He cannot play in the NBA. He can barely run. Like,
the only thing that's keeping him alive is a shot.
Well,
that's about it.
The only thing that's keeping him alive is Mark Cuban, because they're really good friends.
I mean,
yeah, you're right. Although, like, it's because I'm just like a casual basketball fan. Like, I just like name recognition, so that's why it was cool to me. Because I like Dirk because it's Dirk. How can you not like Dirk?
Yeah.
And Dwayne Wade, like everyone loves Dwayne Wade. And if Dwayne, like, I don't know if you saw it, but he said like he wants to throw a lob to Bron in the All-Star game or something like that. Like, if they can recreate that picture, that would be something else. So I get what you're saying about how Dirk shouldn't even be in the league because he's 41. He gets bullied by everyone in the league. But it's fun. It is, like, as a casual fan like me who isn't into it as much, it's kind of fun to see.
Right.
I think if I was a player on the Mavs, though, or on the especially on the Mavs G League team, like, it would probably really bother me that Dirk's on the team. Spot. I don't know if he starts still or if he just comes off the bench, but like,
no, he has to come off the bench.
I just realized Chris Paul's not in the All-Star game.
Well, that's because he was injured.
Yeah,
almost all for half.
I thought he was gonna get some recognition. Anyways, dunk competition. We'll talk about this pretty briefly because that's pretty much how I feel.
I really heard nothing about the dunk competition. All I know is that Dennis Smith Jr. dunked over J. Cole or something like that.
Yeah, that happened.
And then J. Cole tried to dunk of his own and missed.
That's
how you know they don't take it seriously when they just like let J. Cole do that.
Right. Yeah. You also got first off, Dennis Smith Jr. missed every dunk. Kid you not. The dude took 5 tries just to nail one dunk. And it's because of the new rule changes. Like, typically it used to be like 3 attempts and that's it. But now it's like
is there a time limit?
It's not even a time.
There's a time limit, I think.
Not anymore. There wasn't a time limit on TV or anything.
I know I watched one. I know I watched one.
It's when you do a dunk, I believe. So Dennis Smith Jr. literally missed, like, at one point I swear he missed 8. Like, it was just ridiculous. He kept missing a bunch of dunks. He ended up going to the finals. But John Collins, who nailed every dunk, he brought out like a plane like to simulate like the Wright brothers and like how they he was going for the flight definition. He was trying to take flight.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah, he jumped over a plane, didn't he?
Yeah. However, he hit the plane. He hit the back of the plane. He hit the tip of the plane. He destroyed the plane.
Didn't Blake Griffin jump over a car one time?
Yes,
yeah, it was a whole
like lot. That is the classic dunk competition there.
But the thing is, it was off the first dunk, all right?
Yeah.
Now, Hamidou Diallo, he had an insanely cool dunk. He dunked over Shaq. He did the Vince Carter cookie jar, and he ripped his jersey, and it was a Superman.
Didn't Dwight Howard do that?
Dwight Howard did the Superman, the cookie jar, and someone else dunked over Shaq one time. I don't remember who it was. But he just did a whole tribute to the dunk contest. It was probably one of the coolest dunks.
Okay, so if he did a tribute to the dunk contest, that makes sense, I guess.
So he did that. Miles Bridges ended up getting out of the first round. His dunks were all right. Definitely like a lot of power and whatnot. But Hamidou Diallo ended up winning it. He had it seemed like he was running out of ideas towards the end. Like his first two were like really cool, but then like towards the end he was starting to like run out of ideas. And
I believe it.
I mean I don't know about it. However, next year, being located in the great city of Chicago and the lovely basketball team that we have so far, so the only thing that will be interesting in terms of basketball in Chicago will be the next year's All-Star game. Zach LaVine's opened out. He said that he's going to compete, but he's going to have Aaron Gordon compete with him as well. So
I saw that, yeah.
Imagine this dunk contest right here. Zach LaVine, Aaron Gordon, Donovan Mitchell, who I arguably think should be in the dunk contest.
Not after that futures game thing he tried. He tried to oop himself and threw it right over the back.
Yeah, exactly.
The fact is, he's coming up with these ideas. He's doing dunks.
I still think Aaron Gordon
got robbed.
Probably has my favorite. Yeah, he got robbed. Zach LaVine. I really don't think he did. Like, I don't think his dunks were good, but Aaron Gordon definitely should have won.
Absolutely, I couldn't agree more.
Yeah.
So,
but no, Aaron, the one with the Magic mascot, and he's on the hoverboard and he's spinning around, and then Aaron Gordon literally jumps over him and he puts the ball between his legs, dunks it. That's probably the coolest dunk I've ever seen.
But then of course Zach LaVine does some subpar, like I don't even know. It was
he did it from the free throw line and between the legs.
Yeah, I know, but like,
it's just why, like, okay. I think everyone remembers, and I've seen it a million times. It's like, on this date, like Dominique Wilkins and Michael Jordan had a legendary, dunk contest face-off. And then Michael Jordan's winning dunk, which was crazy, was that he dunked from the free throw line. And now, like, Zach LaVine literally did it from the free throw line between the legs, like it was nothing. And Zach LaVine is like the 70th best player in the NBA. And so, like, I just think it shows how much more talent there is now in athletics than there was even like 30 and 40 years ago.
Like, look at
when
Zion.
Exactly. So when people argue that, like,
guys, Zion Williamson
Michael Jordan
is going to be in
Michael
this
Jordan, he actually had to face field defense, and like LeBron doesn't have to face any, the defense he plays isn't the same. Like, I think it's ridiculous.
So next year's All-Star game, the slam dunk contest, it will be Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine, and Zion Williamson.
Zion might be in it, actually.
Zion might be in it.
I
6'7" and can move like a point guard. Like, he can probably do anything.
And dude, just put LeBron in.
LeBron doesn't want to do it.
LeBron doesn't want to do him.
Yeah, LeBron, man. LeBron should do it.
He should.
So
that's
speaking
the same
of
with like the home run derby, though. A lot of big name players don't like doing the home run derby.
Yeah.
So I don't blame them. They don't want to do it. They don't have to. Anyway, we're saying, Benji. Sorry, I interrupted you.
No, you're good. Speaking of LeBron, though, we got the All-Star game coming up tonight, and we have this is officially our prediction round. All right, so today we're going to be predicting the NBA All-Star game, the NBA All-Star game MVP, and my favorite, the Daytona 500. We'll get to that in a bit, but in terms of the NBA All-Star game, this one is going to be worth a win or a loss. Right? So, do you guys want me to announce your rosters, or do you?
No, I know.
You got.
Okay. Oh, yeah. If Clayton wants,
you want me to?
No, you can announce the starters. Just do the starters.
All right. So, Team LeBron starters: Kevin Durant, James Harden, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, and Kawhi Leonard. For Giannis, it's Giannis Antetokounmpo, Stephen Curry, Joel Embiid, Paul George, and Kemba Walker.
Bron is gonna blow Giannis out of the water, right?
Well, see, here's the thing, Kevin. You're 0-3, and this is the All-Star game. Do it.
Benji, who are you taking? I want to know.
I'm gonna win one of these. I don't know. I just think Bron's gonna win. Like, his team is just. I think his team has more of the top talent.
This is where I'm going off of. All right.
And plus, Russ and Joel Embiid are on the same team, so they're gonna score 80 points because they're just gonna riff the entire time on the bench. Anyway, keep going.
Wait. Oh, yeah, sorry. I just saw it. Russell's on the bottom. Anyways, my pick is going to be Team Giannis. The reason I say this is because one, it's the All-Star game. Nobody cares. And also you got the hometown talent, Kemba Walker, playing point guard, all right? Not only that, you also, if you look at the week, it's been upsets left and right, okay?
It's true.
You had famous Los, whatever.
Famous Los 32.
Joe Harris.
We don't even know who he is. Joe Harris. Joe Harris's teammate is in this. So, with that being said, this will either go really well for me or really poorly for me. And Kevin, because you're 0-3 and you're going Team LeBron.
I'm going Team LeBron.
I'm going Team Giannis. The MVP, The MVP is going to be Paul George.
MVP is going to be James Harden.
Which team is Paul George on?
Giannis.
Team Giannis. Okay, how do they decide the MVP? Is it strictly fan voting?
Fan voting, but like it's the NBA All-Star, so it's based off performance. Like it's not like
So you have to have a relevant enough performance, and then it's fan voting from there.
Yeah. So like
okay,
the fans are allowed to vote for whoever, but in terms of the NBA fans and like their fan base, they're not going to end up voting like Stephen Curry because he has 2 points and like 10.
Okay. Well, I mean, LeBron probably also isn't going to play very much in the game because he's coming off an injury and he's talked about how he doesn't want to hurt it. But that being said, I'm also going to take Team LeBron because I don't know if you guys can look back to last year when it was Team LeBron versus Team Steph, and everyone was like, Team LeBron is way better than Team Steph, and like, Team LeBron was way better than Team Steph. But the thing is like they don't really start trying until the fourth quarter, until there's like 5 minutes left, and then they want to win, so then they start trying. And so it was a close game, and I think the people who are the underdogs, the people like D'Angelo Russell and Chris Middleton and Kemba Walker, those are going to be the guys who I think are really going to be balling out because they really want to prove
they're all on Team Giannis.
So I think that it's going to be close, but then I think at the end of the game that like Team LeBron will get their shit together and they're going to win. And then for
Clay, we're starting the swearing train already. Oh boy,
I don't know the rules around it. Well, what is this? Are you submitting this for Mr. Daddario's class?
Yeah, he'll probably be fine with it.
Mr. Daddario won't care at all. Shout out to Mr. Daddario. Anyway, what was I going to say? Oh, MVP is Dwayne Wade. So
MVP is Dwayne Wade.
Dwayne Wade. MVP is Dwayne Wade because he's gonna have like 15 points. They're gonna let him throw a lob to LeBron so that it looks cool, and they're gonna put him in there, and he's gonna win MVP. Even though Paul George will probably have like 35, and Dwayne Wade will have like 20, but Dwayne Wade will win MVP. That's my prediction.
Interesting predictions.
And he's on Team LeBron, so he fits with.
So, Jared has not texted me about his predictions yet. No idea what he's going to go for. But yeah, definitely. Okay, here's the thing. Definitely, I can't agree more that Team LeBron is easily better than Team Giannis. But I'm telling you, it's the.
You make good points though, Benji. I can't help but think about it, but I'm sticking with Team LeBron.
Also, you got You're telling me Jokic isn't going to go off? Are you kidding me? Vucevic. They got the whole squad, dude.
Super Mario. Yeah, he picked all the international players.
Heck yeah.
LeBron picked all the free agents, and Giannis picked all the international players.
Unfortunately, and I think that's going to bite him. But either way,
did you guys see?
It's an all-star game, bro.
Somebody asked Luka what international players he would pick to beat Team USA. Did you see that?
No, what was it?
No, I did not.
It was Luka, Kristaps Porzingis, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Goran Dragic, and
DeAndre Ayton.
No, DeAndre Ayton is an international player.
Yeah, he is.
Yes, he is.
Shoot, I didn't know. Fuck, I can't remember who the last guy was. I'm forgetting it. Oh, Jokic. Jokic was the fifth guy. Yeah.
I don't know. I think USA would win, but
USA
I
would
guess
destroy
we
them.
can talk about that.
A lot of people are like,
time.
what about Ben Simmons? What about Joel Embiid?
Oh yeah,
What about Rudy Gobert? But I think in his mind, he was only thinking of European players.
Also, a reminder that Giannis did draft Ben Simmons and then traded him for Russell Westbrook.
Yes.
Maybe some bad blood there, but now Russ and Paul George are on the same team.
It's gonna hurt your team chemistry because Russell Westbrook and Joel Embiid hate each other, and they're on the same team now.
Exactly. That's what I was talking about.
Yeah.
They're just gonna butt heads on the sideline, and they're gonna create a rift. I don't know. That could be me talking out of my ass, but it could happen. You know, Russ.
Actually, hey, you know what? Can I change my MVP real quick?
Nope.
It's my show. I'm allowed to do this.
Go for it.
Why am I asking you guys? I'm changing my MVP to D'Angelo Russell because he was screwed of the All-Star spot until Victor Oladipo got injured.
Yeah, he was.
That's true.
Yeah, D'Angelo
Was he
Russell
the
wins MVP.
youngest person to ever hit 500 threes or something like that?
I don't know.
No idea, but I'm just saying underdog. So, okay, just so you know, the MVP does not count in the loss column. It counts in the win column. So,
okay, fair enough.
All right, moving on to the greatest sport in American history. Just so everyone's clear, the reason why I started Sportify and whatnot, it was one to talk about opinions and predictions, but the two to kind of experience something new. So right now I have a TV right here, and I've been looking at NASCAR, right?
Okay.
Nice.
Kid you not. And from the perspective, not many people really know what NASCAR is all about. No, I was talking to Kevin earlier, in terms of pit crew chiefs.
Yeah, there's a lot more to it than you think, I guess.
You don't know who they are. You really don't. You don't know what goes behind the scenes. You don't all you know is that there's a driver and all they do is turn left. That's kind of how it goes. But there's a whole pit looking at this car, making adjustments to it all the time. And the main goal, it's not even to win. It's obviously to win, but in terms of placing and whatnot, most NASCAR champions are people that are in contendership of champions. All they have to do is make the top 10 multiple times. So that's kind of their goal in this case. So with that being said, it's the start of the NASCAR season, the Daytona 500, arguably, most likely, the biggest race in American sports. So you guys know nothing. Clayton, you know nothing.
I got Matt Kenseth.
Matt Kenseth, who is retired. All right, here's the thing. So this was about
is
Wednesday.
Jeff Gordon still around?
Jeff Gordon's retired. I'm getting to that.
And Danica Patrick is also retired.
Here's the thing. All right, so I went around school asking people, "Hey, who's going to win the Daytona 500?" I asked Coach Caney. Coach Caney said Kevin Harvick. That was the
Kevin
only.
Harvick? Okay.
That was actually a good prediction. I asked Dario. Dario laughed and he just put his hands up like this. I went around to people just asking them in the hallway who's going to win the Daytona 500. My top answers were Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, Dale Earnhardt Jr., Matt Kenseth, and who was the other one? Joey Logano. 2 of those 5 names are still in NASCAR. I kid you not.
I got Kevin Harvick.
You're gonna take Kevin Harvick? Well,
I don't know. Who else? I don't know who else to take.
Well, here's the
I
thing.
don't know NASCAR at all.
I got Paul Denard.
Menard, not Denard.
I remember that name.
He drove the Menards car, dude. Now
exactly.
He doesn't.
That's why I remember that.
He might. I don't know. But
I just know. Yeah.
So this is the thing. If you know a NASCAR driver, you can do his prediction, but you're also gonna pick a number as well. You're gonna have 2 predictions coming out of this.
I already did my number, and I got Paul Menard.
Right. You're gonna do another one. You're gonna do another one.
All right. I'll do another one.
I gotta pull out a sheet of paper.
Okay.
All right. I got a sheet of paper.
All right. Can I go?
Wait. No, my pencil's not sharpened.
Hey
oh
Siri.
no.
Yeah. Okay.
Hey Siri. God damn it. Hey Siri. Phone. Hey Siri. Give me a number.
to 66.
Did you hear that? I got 66.
66.
That's my number.
I gotta check if it's a NASCAR driver. Hold up. Kevin, are you on your phone right now?
Yeah, I actually have a number right now.
Oh, wait, what?
Number 28.
Okay. All right, let's see. So, Kevin, you're going to take Kevin Harvick, right? Wow, Kevin.
Nice.
No, Kevin's got number 28.
No, I know, but
Yeah.
he's also going to take Eric Jones.
Yes.
Yeah.
Eric Jones is gonna.
Eric
carry
Jones,
me.
baby.
He's gonna give me my first dub. Wait, so you said that NASCAR is based on like this top 10 placement, right?
Oh,
Like,
wait,
that's
no.
what you're shooting
I
for?
lied. Not taking Eric Jones. I lied.
Oh.
All right, sorry. He's number 28 in the grid.
Oh, okay.
Sorry about that.
Go ahead
Kevin,
now.
you need to pick a new number. There's not a
All right.
28.
What about 66?
39.
All right, hold up.
Yeah. What about 66? You can look at both of them, or you.
Yeah.
I assume you know what you're doing, so I'll just let you go.
39 and 66, none of them. So hang on. So Kevin,
Why don't you list what numbers there are?
all right, 24, 88, 4. And you can't do 4. You can't do 4, 21, and my pick 22, which is Joey.
Give me
Lake.
Give me 88.
88.
Yes, sir.
All right, you got. All right, so Kevin, you're gonna take. Who is this? Alex Bauman.
Alex Bauman. He's gonna carry me to victory.
He's starting second.
Is 96 a number?
Yes, it is, I believe.
I got 96 then.
Oh my God, Parker Kligerman.
Yeah, 96. That's my man, Kligerman.
All right, I gotta do Siri real quick. Hey Siri, give me a number.
The answer is 55.
We'll see if there's a 55. I believe there was a 55. Oh. Siri, pick a number.
It's 57.
Siri, pick a number.
The answer is 50.
Why is it giving me all 50s now? Yeah. All right. There's a 51 and a 52. Oh my gosh, there's not even a 50. Siri, give me a number.
It's 84.
Siri,
84.
give me a number.
It's 93.
Siri, give me a number.
She's picking really obscure numbers.
Siri, pick me a number.
Okay, I found this on the web for pick.
This is awful. Siri, give me a number.
The answer is
53. You know what? We're just
Let's go 52.
Yeah, I'm going 52. Starting 37th in the qualifying, which is not good at all. Cody Ware.
All right.
So, all right, but we need to do Jared's pick. So, Clayton, please use Siri for Jared's because my Siri's not on the right side.
Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. Hey, Siri. I'm fucking.
Number 9.
Number 9.
Siri, give me a number.
Oh, dude, that might have been a good one.
Hey, Siri, give me a number.
Chase Elliott. All right, I need one more. So this is Jared's pick officially.
Officially.
You need one more number?
Hey, Siri, pick a number.
it's 60.
60, I guess. If there's not a 60, I'll just pick whoever I like. I'll give him 00 if there's not a 60. There is not a 60, so he's taking Landon Castle. And that, my friends, is how you make predictions.
You yell at Siri to give you a bunch of numbers, and when she doesn't, you just pick a number that
Dude,
you know.
we were so hot before this. Like, I was like, hey, Siri, give me a number. And it was 21 for Clayton, and it was Paul Menard, which was good. So here's the thing. We all got 4 decently good drivers that could probably win this. All right, that's good. We also got 4 drivers that we just randomly picked a number, and hopefully they're decent. All right. So in terms of NASCAR, like, do you guys think there is necessarily a fan base for NASCAR?
Yeah, there's a fan base for NASCAR.
Do you think it's a succeeding sport?
What was that?
Do you think it's a succeeding sport? Or better question, is NASCAR
I think
necessarily a
it
sport?
succeeds.
Yeah.
It's a sport.
I'd give it.
I think there's a market for it. It succeeds. Obviously, it's not my forte. It's not my cup of tea, but
like most people, but yeah.
But, some people enjoy it. And if you want, like, I know my extended family really, really, really likes NASCAR for some reason. And every time we go over there for a race, if it's on a day of a race, it's usually on. And if they enjoy it, nothing. I don't see why it's fun to watch, but more power to them. If they want to watch it, go for it. There's a market. I think it's a sport. Like, nothing wrong with it.
I definitely think it's a very popular sport in terms of like the bigger races, like the Daytona and the Brickyard and whatnot. Do I think it's a sport? I'd give it so, because in my opinion, there's a lot more to it than just racing.
Well, you can define a winner though. Like, there's a first place winner. That's why, like, I don't want to call like things not a sport, but like dancing or cheerleading, like when you need like a judge to tell you who won, like that is not how sports should work. I feel like that takes away from the competition, because then you're using a third party.
All right. Well, so not to mention, like we had talked about earlier, Matty Hickey.
I
number 1 in state and floor, number 2 in vault, number 2 in all around. But that's all based off judging. Gymnastics is.
Isn't that what wrestling? Isn't wrestling based on that as well?
You get points based.
You're awarded points, but that's interpreted by a judge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I wasn't knocking anyone. I was just saying, like, I feel like that kind of takes away, like, it makes it more difficult.
I can see that. There's definitely a bias in terms of like judging sports compared to actual points. Like
a sport with like strict rules and referees, like they would never like miss a call or make a call that would send like one team to the championship game when it should have been the other team. Like that would never happen.
Never.
No.
Never happen. And it would be happening more and more as we go on.
Also, not to mention, what's it called? In terms of a basketball game, there's no way you can necessarily rig it in terms of score.
No.
Yes, you can. You can definitely rig a basketball game. You can call all the fouls for one side and not for the other.
Yeah,
right. But I'm getting to the point of score. Like, if you make
you can't just give one team points.
Right. They could get all the fouls. However, if all the players miss the free throws, score 0 points, and the other team ends up, scoring obviously a lot more points, then it's obviously a differ. But in terms of like that's kind of like an obvious. Like, you obviously see someone scoring a basket. And a lot of it is based off perception and whatnot, and that's kind of what because no one really knows exactly what's pass interference, what's not, what's holding, what's not, what's a deduction in gymnastics, or what's a takedown, what's not, what's a, it's a lot of more judgmental stuff, and rightfully so. Even in baseball with the umpires, typically it's more obvious, but obviously we're all human. We all miss calls, whatnot. Mm-hmm. So, it kind of works out into everybody. I mean, honestly, if we're going this route, definitely I'd say, well, obviously NASCAR in this case, in terms of the whole judging thing. There's really no judging. If there's a crash, they wave a caution flag out. Besides that, it's fair game pretty much,
Yeah.
So, I mean, that's pretty decent to see. The thing, I don't think NASCAR necessarily has any. They don't really have anything going against,
Yeah, no, it's just not popular enough for anything negative to come about it.
Right. I definitely can see that. Like, obviously you get like, some drivers like Tony Stewart was a hothead. He would always get in fights, whatever. And then there's also like Kurt Busch. That's interesting. So, I mean, there's some personality in it too, but in terms of, actually this was probably the most entertaining thing that's ever happened in NASCAR ever. Last season, it was the NASCAR championship, right? And it was between Truex Jr. and Joey Logano. And Truex, it was like the last race. Truex was in the lead. And Truex just goes, Logano will never win the NASCAR championship. Like, he didn't say it to that extent. He said it a lot worse and like was totally like swearing about it. Like, basically just putting Logano down. And Logano ended up winning the race, winning the championship.
Nice.
That's the best.
Karma right there. They definitely got some personality. They got some star, but like obviously in terms of like a fan base and whatnot, it's not the most popular, but I believe it's got a fan base. I believe it's successful.
It's doing well enough, and plus it's been around for a while too. So.
Oh yeah, for sure. In terms of and also company like me and like my NASCAR experience. My dad works for Caterpillar, so like Caterpillar Incorporation, they have their whole they have their own vehicle and whatnot, and so for that to be ended up racing, like sometimes you get like company deals and whatnot where you can send some people out there and just like have some fun, whatever, that's how I ended up getting tickets to Chicagoland, whatever. It's the Joliet Speedway, that type. So that was actually a really cool event to see. But like in terms of how it is as a sport and whatnot, I believe it's a sport. It's also one of the least conflicted sports.
Yeah.
Oh. Clayton, what do you think about it? You think it's sport?
Yes. I pretty much agree with everything you guys have been saying. I don't really have a whole lot to add.
Yeah.
I was kind of
there's not much to say about NASCAR.
Yeah. Me. I think this might be like a good place to wrap this up.
I definitely agree.
Okay.
That's pretty much all we had. So yeah, once again, shout out to the Instagram page. Shout out to the Beast, Trevor Barella, and the rest of the state champions. And any last prediction changes? Anything?
Bears winning the Super Bowl next year.
Browns make it to the playoffs as well. You're going with that?
Browns making it to the playoffs. I can see it.
So Bryce Harper's signing with the Padres in
really
3 months.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper to the Padres, Machado to the White Sox.
So wait,
right now.
Clayton, who was your MVP again for Team LeBron?
Dwayne Wade.
Right. And then Kevin, you obviously had LeBron too.
James Harden.
James Harden. Okay.
No, I mean, go with your prediction, but I don't think James Harden. I'd put James Harden last. People who could win MVP because he's so ball dominant of a player, and all the you can't do that in a team with all stars, like an all-star team.
So Jared, I believe, is the only one missing out of this. I think he'll just take an auto L, which is fine. But
yeah,
he got his lucky win with Julian Edelman, but he is in the race for the NASCAR, so good for him.
Race.
Literally, there's no pun intended.
No pun intended.
No pun intended.
All right.
All right.
Go.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome.
All right. See ya.
See you guys.